Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
With apologies to Adam Seldo from Pension Plan Puppets, who messaged Steve. If you missed the previous episode, at the beginning of the show, last episode, I gave Steve a present that I should have given him before Leo was born. Adam Seldo sent it to me, and I said I'll take it to Steve. But it was the first wave of the pandemic. I think I saw you twice in 15 months.
Oh, if that.
I think we signed our papers to incorporate the company and open a bank account.
I think that was January.
And then that was January of this year, 2021.
Oh my God, you're right.
And then before that, I don't know when I saw you. Maybe when you stopped by for my birthday, April 13, 2020.
Yeah, the saddest wave of all time from the sidewalk. And you dropped off a microphone and we met at a gas station.
That's right. And my that was where my car said cock on the back of it, remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
So Adam, you got a lot of excuses here, but what happened from maybe, I don't know, end of August through December when you saw Steve 3 times a week?
Guys.
In this house where
the package was sitting.
Guys. Both of you need to correct your attitude right now.
Whoa.
I've had it.
Yeah?
Had it with you. You know where it was? It was underneath Everly's seat in the truck. And I took the truck to get cleaned, and it's a truck. It's a real truck.
Bringing your kid in,
and
I have to have sympathy.
And that's where it was. And I'm sorry, Adam, because he messaged you.
He did. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm so relieved. I thought I overstepped. I thought you were like offended.
I feel so bad." Berkshire just messaged me before the show because he's listening, and he's like, "I'm fucking dying right now looking at that." That is a me move. That's a me move. I'm sorry. I'm not to be trusted with packages.
I'm lucky I got it. Remember the London presents?
Oh yeah, I was supposed to bring. I did bring back stuff from London. There was like some One Direction stuff. I just never gave it to you.
A couple of years later.
Yeah.
And there was some fudge or something. I threw that out.
It became the with apologies to Ben Affleck thing for Jimmy Kimmel.
100%.
Adam, you're not great with packages, but how are you with balls?
Well, I like them clean.
Glad you asked.
I like them clean, and that's why I got the lawnmower. No, that's later in the show. I do want to say this. So that's a very me move. Obviously, I'm terrible with this. Steve, do you want to tell Jesse about your afternoon yesterday? Because, Jesse, I was talking to Steve on the phone about a couple of things business related.
Yeah.
And boy, did we have an interesting conversation when he told me what he was doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you ever just have a day get away from you? Like it ends up far busier than you ever anticipated.
Sure.
It can be a number of things.
Yeah.
You know, something goes wrong with your car. You know, you have your day well planned out, and all of a sudden, this is going to take like 3 hours. You know, it could be something like that. You find out some news, something's not working, whatever. So yesterday was one of those days where I didn't anticipate it. I was just on the phone. I was on the phone all day, like 7 or 8 different phone calls, very long phone calls, lovely phone calls, but a lot of phone calls. Then I had to shoot hat pics. And I did hat pics. Then I had to send them to Drew. And I'm talking to Drew. I think that was one of my phone calls. Hey, Drew, hat pics are on their way. Tuesdays. Sportsnet YouTube channel. Then all the NHL COVID news drops. And people are nervous. People are scared. And players are getting thrown into protocol every 10 minutes. It was shock and awe. We couldn't believe it. And I was talking to my friends about it. You know, because I'm an expert now.
You're an epidemiologist.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
So is CJ. You said that on CJ's show. We all are.
Mm-hmm. Together, collective.
And then I got a text from my wife that said, "Did you remember to pick up our son?"
What?
To which I said, after looking at the clock and discovering that I should have picked up our son half an hour ago.
That's not so bad.
So then I rushed to pick up our son. I was like, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I'm the worst dad of my life. I was just like, I actually recorded the conversation, and it was just, I felt like Daniel Day-Lewis. My wife is just like, say it. I want you to say it. I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my boy. That's how I felt. I felt like the worst dad.
What time are you supposed to pick up Leo?
3.
And what time did you get to his school?
Just after 4.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah, so it ended up. Well, that's the thing.
So it is
If you
that
got
bad.
if you got there like I thought you were gonna say you got there
no,
like 3:30.
I was in my house
When you realize
over half an hour after I was supposed to have
that's
gotten him.
kind of bad.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. So I call his daycare frantic, just frantic. And then they informed me that he did not care.
Oh.
He went outside and he played. And when I ended up picking him up, I interrupted his dancing because he was dancing.
He's a good dancer.
He's a very good dancer. and he ran to me at the door, happy and smiling like absolutely nothing happened.
Well, he never has to know, right?
No.
This is the great thing about this age. It's sort of like parental training, because if you fuck up, they don't remember
Unless
much.
somebody plays him this podcast in like 4 years.
No one will.
Oh, if this is the worst of it, I'm a great dad. But yeah, 18 months in, that's probably my best one.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good one.
Hour and 10 minutes late to pick up your kid.
Yeah. It was a pretty good one.
The teachers must have been so disappointed.
No, not at all. They love him. He's the
but
golden
they have
boy.
to watch an extra kid for no extra pay.
Oh,
That's on you.
I could
Do
have
you
picked
get
him
fined?
up at 5:30.
Do you get fined for showing up late?
No. Well, because it's not okay. So this is another thing. The daycare was not closing.
Oh, when do you guys just pick him up early?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I let it really
Okay.
go the whole day.
Oh, okay.
Fire. No, burn those batteries out, baby. Let's go.
Oh, I get it. No,
Yeah.
no, we do plenty of battery burning at the house.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a dog. Oh, Iggy loves him.
Mm-hmm.
Iggy, I'm not sure is totally sold on the kid,
No.
but at this point,
My
too bad
dogs are
you're stuck with him.
Yeah, he's a year and a half.
Yeah.
My dogs are just getting there, and I have a 2.5. Right, so
Yeah.
it takes time.
Leo is at very least a reliable food source for Iggy.
Yeah.
and Iggy does appreciate that.
that will become more important in their bonding, I think.
This happens all the time. Like Leo loves veggie straws. He'll hold out a veggie straw to feed to Iggy, which is the cutest thing ever. But Iggy is very gentle.
Do you feed Leo?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I just thought because of your parenting skills that you
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
forget
No,
to
usually-
feed your child.
Yeah. What happens is I wake up in the middle of the night and I go, I didn't feed him all day.
That's what I assume.
No, it's literally Home Alone.
Come on. Oh my God. And my wife's like, what's the matter? And I'm like, Leo, is it? It's Leo, right?
That's why it's good to have two. If you can help it, not always possible. It's good to have two
then they
people.
raise each other.
Yes.
That's how it works.
No. Good to have two parents. It's good if
Oh.
possible, where
yes.
possible.
Right.
It's good to have a
That's-
backup.
That's what I meant.
I
what
actually
I was
heard
going
something
for.
really funny.
Not a backup baby.
No.
One of Natalie's cousins is a family. They're Caitlin and Jesse. They love kids. She's a kindergarten teacher, and I think their goal is to have like 4 children. They've got 2 so far. They just had a little baby.
That's a lot of children.
And we were at like a family gathering, and one of the cousins was like, Jesse, you're gonna be shorthanded all the time.
Not me.
Like no, this is Jesse, the cousin Jesse. They're
Okay.
like literally Jesse. His name's Jesse. You're gonna be short. You're gonna be playing a man down the rest of your life. You realize that the second
Right.
you get over 2.
Right.
That's
right,
where
right,
apparently
right.
like that's the thing, right? Like I felt like I had a good kid on the first one, and I'm like, I'm not messing this up.
Fair.
I'm not messing this up. This is enough. This is
I'm determined to mess
take your
this up.
hands off this.
It's not worth having another kid just in case
Nope.
I got a bad one.
Nope, don't want it.
All right.
Don't want it. Don't need it.
Sorry, to finish that story, Leo will hand a veggie straw to Iggy,
Oh,
which
yes.
is the
Yeah.
cutest thing ever, but Iggy is very gentle, so he won't snatch the treat from him.
Mm-hmm.
So what he does is he licks it as if to indicate, this is where you give me the treat, and then Leo just takes it back and eats it.
That's a good kid.
The licked, soggy veggie straw.
That's delicious.
Why am I sick all the time?
I can only imagine.
I don't know.
I can only imagine.
Where does he
Do you-
get these germs?
Do you also eat food from that's been licked by the dog?
Yeah, but listen, I raised Iggy.
Yeah.
I'm allowed. What has Leo
You guys
done?
have the same DNA.
I know.
Um,
Poor kid.
You and Iggy.
Poor kid. Yo, Leo lights up when he sees Leaf stuff. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah, because it's everywhere.
It is, but like
You forced it down his throat.
he understands hockey stick, but he even understands John Tavares.
Oh, great.
If I say where's John Tavares, he goes and grabs his John Tavares toy.
Oh, cool.
It's really cool.
That's cool.
It's-
So here's the thing. We are gonna talk about the games. We are gonna talk about some hockey stuff, but there is obviously some COVID stuff that's been brewing that I want to talk about, and I'm taking this directly from Elliot Friedman because, as far as I'm concerned, the 32 Thoughts blog on this is the best reporting I've seen on it. in terms of like written word. And I know CJ and Julian mentioned this yesterday, but we're just updating it today and they'll update it tomorrow. It's sort of like ongoing. But as of right now, pausing the schedule, everybody's worried about that, right? That's going to be the last resort. And I think I was watching Tim and Friends yesterday, and Arash Madani, they talked to him about, they had a whole panel on, but Arash Madani made a brilliant point, as he's known to do. And, a lot of people are saying, well, what if they pause the schedule? What if they pause the schedule? I think he summed up perfectly why they won't. He said, because you got to remember, he's like, and he put it in the context of what it was like being a Canadian reporter in the United States in Atlanta during the World Series. And how people were openly laughing at him for wearing a mask in an elevator. In the States, he's like, in parts of the United States, it's been declared over for a while. And they're just not going to go back. And he said, these owners, in whatever sport, as long as those checks keep coming in.
Yeah.
So
you can't end what never began, Adam.
Well, and so my thinking is here, I know there's a lot of anxiety surrounding this. I get that completely. But I also want to remind everybody, if you're listening to this and you're worried about losing hockey, because for a lot of us, especially in lockdown, man, that was a lifeline for me. Like, at least we got to watch some hockey games because I was stuck here standing in the basement trying to do the podcast with you guys, and it was really tough.
Dude. One
of the things that I want you to keep in mind is that we did a season, 2 seasons, unvaccinated, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we did a half a season, like, we did 2 Stanley Cups, basically, without vaccines.
Sorry, can I get this out?
What?
I'm laughing again because when my wife was pregnant, I was like, oh, cool. He's going to be born like as soon as the season's done.
Oh, man.
And it's literally the only time in history that hockey was played in August.
Yeah. Yeah. It was actually, it was perfect timing. You guys, it was going to be like a week after free agency ended. And it was going to be perfection. But not so much.
He was due July 7th, 2020, 7/7/2020.
So what he said is what's more likely is a return to much tougher protocols reminiscent of last year's challenging 2020 season, mask wearing at all times, staying in your hotel room away from the rink, no restaurants, movie theaters, team parties, you name it. Teams moving from testing every 3 days to testing every day. And, it's interesting, kind of, Tucker Pullman and Morgan Frost being pulled from last night's games. I think as of 15 minutes ago, if I'm not mistaken, another 7 or 8 Flames have been added to the COVID protocol list.
7 and Daryl Sutter.
Yeah. And so, so they're at 17 team members, 7 players, 3 coaches, 7 support staff now in COVID protocol. I think the thing is, we sort of this, like, how is this not going to happen throughout the year? I felt like it was going to.
This long.
Yeah, I felt like this was going to happen. The question now is, I think it's less about canceling games, and I think it's more about in what jurisdiction are people going to be allowed to go. I know that the Ontario government's talking about maybe limiting people being allowed to be in Scotiabank Arena.
They limit capacity.
Yeah, and it's hard for people to stomach that because it does feel like you're moving backwards, and there's a lot of people who are like, hey, I got both doses. In the States, by the way,
3.
You can get your 3rd dose. You can get your 3rd dose right now. You can, I went onto Walgreens in Pittsburgh just to look. If I took a flight to Pittsburgh today, I could go get my 3rd dose and be back by this evening. That's seriously, I could do that. And in Canada, it's like, well, no, we're going to do this 50 plus and then 40 plus. And the other problem is, and the owners raised this, and I thought this was interesting. When it comes to guys like Tucker Pullman and Morgan Frost being pulled mid-game, part of the problem I think that we have in Canada is that the access to rapid tests is just not the same here as it is in the United States.
No, you can buy them.
Yeah.
But we need much, much better access.
Yeah. And so you're getting guys who may have tested positive for COVID pulled in the middle of a game. Yeah. That's weird, right? Like that's a problem.
It's beyond weird. It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's been happening. And maybe we should have said something about this earlier, but that is weird that's gone on the entire season, right?
So it's because of the privately owned healthcare system that they have in the States. Because it's private, they can just make testing free and they can just make it testing available. So Friedman actually wrote that in the blog. He said some U.S.-based teams think a big part of the problem is slower test results in Canada. There are more options for privately owned testing south of the border, and they feel lengthy wait times for results lead to greater risks of outbreaks when playing in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because the government
That's
The
crazy.
evil big government controls the testing up here.
We're not.
That's crazy.
Listen, we're not doing the greatest job, but they're trying. I think we're giving the
they're
best.
trying
But
their
I'm,
best.
I'm giving everybody whatever your party stripes. I'm giving everybody the benefit of the doubt where possible here. Do I think it's been great? It hasn't been great.
No.
Now let's move on to what that means for your team, right? Because one of the things Freege mentions here is, hey, you can't have rosters crushed by COVID and then keep playing and not be allowed to bring people up. The whole argument about, well, you should have managed the cap better, like finger wagging. That has to change immediately.
The no taxi squad thing.
I don't know why we knew. So like I just started this off by saying we knew this was going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Why get rid of the taxi
Common
squad?
sense.
I think they banked on it not happening. I think they thought because the vaccines were already available and there's literally all but one NHLer and all but one AHLer not vaccinated, that, hey, this will be fine. We can get through this, and it'll be like October and early November when it's just like a couple guys out because of the protocols, and that this is just how the season's going to go. But then like variants happen and now it's taken over. I don't think they expected it to be like a wave like this. I think they thought it'd be like October.
So my first question would be, why not? And my
Why
second
not?
question is,
No, maybe. not
and
the
this
time.
is where I'm agree with you on that, Jesse. Clearly, they didn't think this was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But why not just have a contingency plan?
Just have an abundance of caution.
Just have it.
Yeah, for the taxi squad
No, I like that
poses problems with your AHL team and your travels because you're carrying extra guys who just aren't playing. You know, for your taxi squad, they have to be in the quote bubble that the main roster players are in. That's how it worked last season.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking like 5 guys away from just playing hockey. So I think that their worst case scenario is to do that. They don't want to have to do that. So you bank on the best case scenario, which is no taxi squad. And then if the worst case comes, then you add the players. But I think just opening up the salary cap and just having, hey, if a guy's on COVID, he's now on IR and he doesn't count against the cap. Like what?
Yeah, why is that?
Why the taxi squad I get because there's logistics of human bodies traveling with other people. But in terms of cap fake money that the NHL literally writes down on a piece of paper and makes up consistently every year, why not just add to the fake money? That's absurd that we're sitting here and that's still a rule.
Honestly,
This is why the NHL struggles with the most basic.
yeah.
Yeah.
The salary cap sucks. I don't know how many times I need to tell you the salary cap sucks. It doesn't work. It's not effective. It's not effective.
But let's say it's awesome. Common sense says this year, it's fake money.
It
Just
doesn't
relax.
matter.
Relax a little bit. That's it.
No, you
No.
know why? It's because Gary Bettman has hitched his wagon to this. The salary cap is his baby. It's like he gave birth to it.
But he's not going anywhere.
It's the thing. No, I know, but it's the thing that he is most proud of. Like when he closes out his career, I'm surprised he didn't mention it in his Hall of Fame speech. Like his biggest contribution to hockey, I bet in his own mind, is the fact that he got the owners the salary cap and the revenue share.
Gary Bettman is a great example for why you don't enter people into the Hall of Fame before they stop working.
Yeah, boy. Honestly,
After this past year,
yeah,
it's great. Looks great.
yeah, 100%, 100%. So anyway, long story short, it's a bit funky or whatever, but at a certain point, like drop the pretense, Gary. It's going to be okay. The owners are all still going to be billionaires after this is over. And the league is on track to make more money this season than they did in 2019 when they were tracking then. Like pre-pandemic, like they were on track to make $5 billion. This year they're on track to make $5.2 billion. That's fully almost $250 million more. Are you kidding me?
And
Come on,
ticket
guys.
sales are down, television viewing is down, and the numbers are still higher than they were before.
Yeah, and the owners are like, players, you still owe us money. And they're like, how about all that equity? Fuck you. We lost money. Fuck you. We lost money. Our equity's up.
And now the salary cap's going to go
They
up
just
in
sold
3
a
years.
small market Penguins team. And no offense, Pittsburgh, it is a small market. The Steelers are a small market team. They just sold the Penguins for next to $1 billion.
Here,
That team that was going to move to Hamilton for nothing.
This will work better on YouTube,
right.
but this Santa Claus is valid criticism.
Uh-huh.
All right?
Okay.
And
all
this
right. Where are you going
mug
with this?
is NHL ownership.
Uh-huh.
This snowman is Gary Bettman.
Weird nerds.
Weird
Yo,
nerds.
honestly, the Elon Musk meme that's been going around with like the Simpsons with Apu jumping in front of the gunshot.
Yeah.
Like where it's like valid criticism, like weird nerds. Yo,
Elon Musk.
to me, that's how it feels when people defend the current structure of the salary cap. I understand the need for a salary cap. I do not understand why we do it this way.
Spoken like Alan Walsh's co-host.
It's a maniac.
Alan
Yeah,
has
you're right.
infected
You know
your
what?
brain.
I'm biased. I never thought this before, but 20 episodes in, suddenly I do.
You know, okay. So it's been a lot of doom and gloom, and we've talked about a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yesterday, in talking to friends and in the LFR, I talked about how I'm choosing optimism here. I'm just choosing it. Is it based in anything? It's based in a couple things.
Steve-tomism.
You can base pessimism in fact as well when it comes to this. I am choosing optimism. I think we're going to be fine. I'm thinking games are going to get played.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley Cup's going to get awarded.
May not be full capacity,
May not be full capacity.
but games are going to happen.
There's going to be, you're going to take a couple punches. Every, Muhammad Ali got punched a bunch in all of his wins. You're going to take some punches.
It's going to be full capacity because it'll be awarded to an American team.
Ah,
and it'll be
yes.
full capacity in that building because the Tampa Bay Lightning did it in the middle of everything.
Well, the pandemic actually never hit Florida.
Good for them.
Never happened.
Good for them. They got a shield around them like the Protoss. And it just kept it all.
Just
in.
never happened.
Yeah. All the partying in Miami kept it out.
I know. Oh my God.
Hey,
Yo, there was nothing worse than the middle of the pandemic. You remember Chair Girl? Did I tell you guys this?
Oh, I remember.
Oh, yeah, we did this.
Did we
on
talk
the
about this
podcast.
with a fucking?
She went down.
She's hanging in Atlanta at a strip club with 500 people there, and it's the pandemic's raging, and we can't do shit. I can't go to the grocery store and get a haircut here.
No, the vaccine, no. Ivermectin, no.
Ivermectin.
Tequila.
Ah,
Tequila is it ivermectin?
I think so.
No, whatever.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna take it. But
Horse medicine.
Tequila is what kills COVID.
Only good tequila though.
Only-
no
yes.
cheap shit.
No,
Yeah.
no, no,
But
no.
what
no.
about a good mezcal though? Like mezcal is tequila, not tequila though.
It's
It's
like
like
1942.
It's
Tequila
like
Rose
Prosecco,
makes it
right?
worse. It gives you super COVID. Because Tequila Rose makes it
so.
worse.
Okay, let me ask you this:
Tequila Rose makes
It's
everything worse.
easily the biggest brand in it, but is Patron good?
Oh man. By the time I have these things, I'm well past appreciating it.
Okay,
So I don't know.
Patron tastes pretty good.
it tastes pretty
Yeah,
good.
the best thing ever is peach Ciroc.
Peach Ciroc.
I do like
so
peach. I
good.
like all peach
Oh,
things.
you know what's fucking amazing? Pink Whitney.
Yeah, it
Oh
is.
my god,
That's-
that thing
My
tastes like
mom
lemonade.
likes, my mom likes Pink Whitney. She's like, I'm having this Pink Whitney stuff. My mom doesn't drink ever. She's like, I have this Pink Whitney bottle and it's really good. And I'm like, do you know what that's from? And she's like, no. And I said, do you know who Whitney is? Do you know the whole story behind that? She's like, no.
The least fortunate Oilers.
Yeah. She has no idea. That's just a ubiquitous alcohol brand.
Yeah.
Let me throw this out there. It should be illegal. It definitely should.
Because it's that good?
I tried it. No, because I tried it for the first time. It's not that it's not good, but I tried it for the first time in St. Louis at the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And you ever drink casually and at some point you just go, I'm fucking bummed.
Yeah.
And
rum
that's-
punch in the Caribbean.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why am I bummed? And I go, and I just asked the people I was drinking it with, I go, what percent is this? Because it tastes like Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And I go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
The thing
I
that,
thought it was like 14%.
It's literally, it tastes so good, but it's like 40%. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And
I was like, oh, cool. I have to stop
So,
drinking immediately. I
does
have
sugar-
to work in the morning.
does sugar bother either of your stomachs?
No.
Like if you drink a hot chocolate, are you gonna get heartburn? See, it does for me. So my
Ah.
concern with drinks like that is that because I've never had it. I've had like a sip of it, but I've never had it like a drink.
High school Adam would have been like, here's how I'm going to lose weight.
100%, yes, 1,000%. But I stick to things like vodka and tequila because maybe the sugar is different. But like things that taste like juice, like a rum punch, will literally set my stomach on fire.
Gin.
So I'm afraid to touch it.
Oh.
Gin, baby.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the tequila brand you need to try.
What were we talking about?
I
Tequila
don't
brand
know.
you need to try. Casamigos.
Getting rid
That's-
of COVID via alcohol.
Casamigos.
So,
This is the George Clooney tequila, by the way. The best
yeah?
tequila I've ever had.
Wow.
Does
best.
it taste like tequila? Because I like alcohol drinks that taste like I'm drinking apple juice.
No,
Yeah.
it tastes like tequila, but it's like you can sip this. It's like you enjoy it a nice summer night.
I think it's important to taste the alcohol, Jesse. You need to know.
Yeah, that's I don't want to be responsible.
I'm drinking for other purposes, Steve.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Drinking to get fucked up, Steve. Fucked up. 5 o'clock on a Friday. Let's hit a Tim's in the Lick Bow.
That's
Credit card from the liquor store, motherfucker.
They're in the same plaza. It's very convenient. You gotta hit up Aaron Mills and Dundas Plaza. There's a Wendy's, there's a Lick Bow, there's a Timmy's, and a Sobeys. Everything in one place.
Speaking of which, have we heard of have you guys heard of the Wayne Gretzky? When you go to Tim Hortons?
No, what's that?
Okay, so in Canada, Tim Hortons obviously a big deal. If you go to Tim Hortons, and you say, "Can I have a Gretzky?" They'll know what you're talking about. And I want
or will they be like, "This is my first week. I don't know what." That
okay,
is.
well maybe they will, but a Gretzky,
we don't have that.
Okay, think about it. So a double is what we're famous for. Every celebrity who's anybody comes through here goes, "I want to try a double." I'm like, yeah, bullshit. You're like this big, no way.
Two
creams, two sugars, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So a Gretzky.
Oh no.
Is 9 creams, 9 sugars.
What the fuck?
And people are ordering it, and it's like, the Simpsons, 7 spoons full of sugar. People are just melting down.
Why would they do that?
It's TikTok, man.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Literally.
TikTok.
Oh, this is a thing that's happening on TikTok.
People are doing this. Oh, yeah. And the thing is that Tim's employees, especially young ones who all have TikTok, know exactly what you're talking about, and they'll give you one.
This is how trends work. Someone comes up with a ridiculous idea. Oh, my God, look at this. And then you try it. How is it? Not good. And then the video's over.
My favorite TikTok thing with Tim Hortons right now is people going up to the drive-thru and blasting Justin Bieber and then going, "You know what I'm here for." And then you pull up to the drive-thru and it's just, "Ooh, oh." And then you're like, "You know." And then they get some Tim Biebs.
I like that.
Sir, I'm working an 8-hour shift. I make minimum wage. I have an exam tomorrow worth 75% of my mark. Can you please turn that down?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every employee hates
hungover.
it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
my name is Steve, and I'm hungover.
Did you ever try the Starbucks drinks? Remember they had the unicorn thing. They had the pink one.
I don't think so.
The white, and it was like
I know what you're talking
they're like
about.
this is 20,000 calories. It's just fucking wild.
Yeah. Hey, can I get the thing that makes 15 minutes to make? And the person making minimum wage goes, "Sure thing, coming right up." And then, yeah, how much tip? Oh, it's 0 again. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Thanks for that. I'll be sure to get right on that.
Yeah,
The unicorn frappuccino. Is what
that's
you're
the
talking
one.
about.
Yeah, that was. What's in that? Are we able to look at that? Do you still have it up?
I just want to pull up the calories. 410 calories.
Oh, that's it.
That's not even that
That's
bad.
not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's probably like a
Less than a
grande. The grande is like the normal size.
Less than
I'm
a
here for a
PSL.
good time, not a long time.
There you go.
Let's go. Get
All
it.
right, so hockey.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. So Leafs and
Omicron.
Oilers.
What hockey?
Yeah.
Leafs and Oilers. Omicron, by the way, should have been one of the Transformers. Just throwing that out there.
Omicron. Roll out.
But I want to talk about the Oilers game. A few things about the Oilers game that stand out, okay? Because it is, it's a Tuesday night game. It's Leafs and Oilers. That's a big matchup. Matthews, McDavid.
It is.
And you know what? I saw the Sportsnet ticker this morning, and I know there's somebody in Toronto here writing it just to troll the entire city of Edmonton. I appreciated this. You ready for the ticker?
Hit me.
The ticker said, Matthews outduels McDavid.
Ah!
And you know that Edmonton fans would be like, see? Toronto Sports Network, even though that's just Sports Network. Because TSN is the Toronto Sports Network.
You know,
No, the sports network.
No, but they call themselves, out west they call it
yeah.
Toronto Sports Network.
So, okay, for any Oilers fans listening, let me give you an outsider's perspective. I hate when the Leafs play the Oilers. I do.
Why?
Because it makes me nervous. That's why. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just makes me nervous.
I love it. What's the matter?
Because Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid are incredibly good.
Oh, yes.
They're incredibly good.
Yeah.
And the first shift, Tavares takes a penalty. It's all the Leafs can do to just get the puck to get to the penalty kill.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kill the penalty, and other than Draisaitl missing that wide open net, name a Draisaitl or McDavid moment.
So, okay, I
Unless-
wanted to talk about that specifically. You make a really good point.
It's the least entertaining game they've ever played against the Leafs.
The opening, but I think that it came. So this
Those
is their
two,
sixth
specifically.
loss in a row, right, for the Oilers.
Yeah, they're out of a playoff spot.
No, they're in the wild card as of this
Are
morning.
they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what's crazy about that, and by the way, if you lose 6 games during a regular season, yeah, you're going to drop some places in the standings.
Pretty
the
bad.
Oilers, and we'll get to this. The Oilers are going to be fine, but Draisaitl missing that open net, I think, changes the game. Like if we are having a different conversation today if he scores on that.
I tweeted it immediately. I'm like, he's either going to get mad and score 5, or the Leafs are about to win this game. And I got to say, as a fan of a team that always wilts in the playoffs, the Oilers wilt. They really do. Like, you see it in their body language.
So let's talk about that.
They wilted.
You made a mention of that, and I was going to bring it up later, but I want to talk about that wilting.
Yeah?
Specifically, I want to talk about the point you made to us about McDavid's body language.
Oh, he's such a grumpy Gus, man.
Oilers fans are not going to like this, but let's call it like it is. What do you see? And this is more than just the Leafs, by the way.
It's okay. Listen, he's the best player in hockey. Full stop.
Oh,
he's the most talented, fastest. He's unbelievable. He's a monster. This is why I hate when the Leafs play the Oilers, because every time he gets the puck, I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is going to happen? No one played. Remember I told you about watching Crosby in the Stanley Cup final? Every time he comes over the boards, whatever defenseman is on the ice is like, holy fuck. And last night, no one displayed that more than Timothy Liljegren, who is in such a huge audition right now with Jake Muzzin. And he ended up on the ice at the same time as McDavid a lot and was like, holy shit. You could say, yeah, it's a bit of a step up from the AHL, eh, Timmy?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You could tell. But, man, when things don't go his way, like when he tips that puck in for the third goal, the 3-0 goal. All right, let's go over all the things that are bad. Being down 3-0, that's bad. Scoring on your own team, that's bad. I understand why he's upset, but he just kind of gets grumpy and stays that way, and it's not a grumpy that helps.
There's players that get mad and it helps them.
Yeah, they get mad
until it doesn't help again.
Yeah, there are players who get mad. Alex Ovechkin a little bit.
Yes, great example.
Crosby, sometimes it's his enemy, but it often works. McKinnon, the Leafs need a little bit more.
Who used to get mad and it helped him was Ryan Kessler.
Ryan Kessler.
And I'm not saying McDavid and Kessler are similar here, but Ryan Kessler would use anger. That man, he was dark side of the force.
Darcy Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like sometimes, again, it was his downfall, but McDavid.
Shanny was like that too. Shanny, if he got pissed off, watch out.
Yeah. Scott Stevens.
Yes.
That was, but anger doesn't seem to help him. And
doesn't focus him, it clouds him.
Yeah. And listen to how we're talking about the Oilers. They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Oilers are talking about the Oilers that way, because it's just been year after year after year of the Oilers losing a game and him looking grumpy. Like I always feel bad because the fucking camera always finds him, and then the screen grab is him just staring off into the distance with that dead in the eyes. Camera always catches Steph Curry.
Well, I do feel bad because, Connor has, and I get the frustration. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl kept this franchise afloat, have done that for more than half a decade now.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't this season 7 for him?
Oh, boy. 15, 16. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't make me do it. It's a lot. Oh, yeah, well, Matthews is in 6, so McDavid would be in 7.
7 seasons of McDavid.
Holy shit. Really?
Like, and he's probably thinking like, fuck, then that tip goal on the third goal. Mm-hmm. He's probably thinking, fuck, we've already lost 5 in a row. Leon and I aren't clicking right now. Yeah. Because sometimes even the best players in the world need a fucking minute. Well, I need anybody else in this lineup to step up and score. Anybody else? Is there anybody else?
They were both scoring at a 180-point pace.
Yeah. Well, and like with the Leafs, the Oilers go as McDavid and Draisaitl go. But is it too much to ask the Oilers, the rest of them, to do something? Well, I don't put this at their feet.
Like Hyman was out of the lineup, but like Marner's out of the lineup. You know what I mean? Like it's just not an excuse. Mm-hmm. But the only Oiler who scored last night was Colton Sevier.
Yeah, he was the one that talked to the media too.
First time all season that McDavid and Draisaitl have gone back-to-back games without a point. I believe.
How are the Leafs their defensive kryptonite?
They
They are no one's defensive kryptonite. It doesn't make any sense.
I came in here and I wanted to throw a theory at you guys after last night's game.
Hit me.
It's a
We will
very
catch your theory.
simple theory, and let me know if it's correct. The Toronto Maple Leafs own the fucking Edmonton Oilers.
Except for when they don't.
They are. Last season, in the shortened season in the Canadian division, the Leafs went 6-1-2 versus the Edmonton Oilers.
Did they actually?
They went 6-1-2, and Edmonton had 2.11 goals per game. Just over 2 goals per game for the Edmonton Oilers.
Literally,
against
Aaron
Toronto
Rodgers,
Maple
I
Leafs.
still own you.
They own them,
Yeah.
and they've owned them for that entire season, and now it's just continued into this year.
Is
Is
that-
my theory correct?
Well, remember last episode we referenced the Leafs running up the score 10-0 or 10-1, whatever it was, against the Boston Bruins, and then the Bruins didn't lose to them for 3 or 4 years. Are the Leafs 6-1-2 since McDavid scored that goal on Morgan Riley?
When did that goal happen?
It was near the end. It was near the COVID shutdown, I'm pretty sure. You know what it was? It was I think it was at the end of January. Morgan Riley hadn't played a healthy game all season. Then McDavid puts him on the hockey equivalent of a poster.
Oh, yeah.
And I think after that, they were like, all right.
Yeah, Morgan Murray.
If that happened,
literally, McDavid put him on LTIR.
if that happened January 2019 or 2020, then yeah, that would have been the last game versus the Oilers before the shutdown. And then since then, they've now 7-2-1 versus the Edmonton Oilers. I don't know what it is about. And maybe it's Sheldon Keefe. Maybe he's figured out a defensive scheme to shut down McDavid and Draisaitl. But the way you don't think it's that?
I think it's
Because
confidence.
there
don't
isn't
think-
one.
You don't think the players have figured out a way to limit these two? Because those two haven't performed versus the Leafs in a year.
I think the confidence, there's certain teams that you just fucking have it. You have it over them.
Mhm.
Look at Boston and Toronto. Toronto's won a bunch of games versus Boston, but Boston's like, we're going to win eventually.
Yeah, but they have it over them for a reason that translates on the ice.
So do the Leafs.
And I think it seems like it's stemming from their defense, just in the way that they've been limiting the Edmonton Oilers in goals. Their top players have not been able to score versus the Leafs lineup. And it doesn't seem like the Leafs are overpowering them by outscoring them in any way. It seems like there's some sort of defensive play that the Leafs have enacted versus these two giants.
Maybe I'm galaxy braining. What if it's the Oilers struggle against teams that can keep up with them offensively? Because their defense is an enormous liability.
yeah.
And it showed yesterday. They were brutal on the power play. They're not strong in front of their own net. And they weren't last year either. They're
So
awful.
they can't score because their offense can't get it going.
No, defense.
I mean, it's
No, but you said their offense, the Leafs offense keeps up with their offense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I misunderstood what you said. That's kind of what I think.
I think the Oilers, it's the best offense is a good offense. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, their offense is so good, it distracts from the fact that their defense isn't. And so teams that can't keep up with the offense are like, we don't even have time to consider going in and trying to score on Mike Smith.
But it's not that the Leafs are keeping up with their offense, and it's not like these are 7-5 games.
The Oilers
It's-
outplayed them through 40 minutes.
Yes.
yeah, but
yes.
they can't finish. There's
Right.
there was that, what was it? They had the ticker. I was like, fuck you, TSN. When they put up the ticker on last shot by the Leafs.
Oh, it was like 7
and
minutes.
And it hit nearly 8 minutes. But the Oilers didn't score that entire time.
I think here, guys, honestly, I think it's just they're on a cold streak. And they're entitled to it.
Sure.
McDavid and McDavid and Draisaitl have not scored. You said the last 2 games. 3 of the last 6 games they've been held pointless. Both of them. You're not going to win games if they're not scoring. They're not. That's the way the roster.
There's no other offense.
Yeah, because the Oilers refuse to invest in enough depth scoring to make up for when the Stars don't score.
And we saw, you go through all the individual Leaf performances against Montreal in the playoffs, like almost all of them were good.
Yeah.
It's just literally Matthews and Marner didn't score, and that's your team.
And if you look at the points totals, I got the Oilers points totals up here. Okay, so you got McDavid and Draisaitl both have 45 points. Okay, There's a lot of Oilers with a lot of assists.
I was about to say, forget points.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So let me run it.
Nuge stat shocked me.
Let me run you through it because Nuge 24 points in 27 games.
Oh,
What a heater.
3 goals.
I couldn't believe
Guys,
that.
I think as a sport we sometimes forget, and I've done this before. Yeah. I've said this before. Goals matter more.
Yeah.
Goals matter more.
Yeah.
We've been raised to believe that assists matter more because it means you're helping out your teammate. Goal wouldn't have happened without you. I'm fucking sorry.
Were you
Goals,
raised to believe that?
Yeah. In hockey, that's what they
Who
teach you that.
raised you?
Yeah.
They're like, no, the assist, the guy who assisted, that's the guy. And I actually, when I said this the first time, I had kickback from hockey fans. Hardcore hockey fans are like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. You don't know the game. And it's like, dude, I know the game, and I'm telling you, goals are always more important. The ability to finish matters. Let me run through this list.
apples are healthier than biscuits.
Let me run you through this.
That's such hokey bullshit.
It is. So let me run you through this. 23 goals for Draisaitl in 27 games. Wowza.
Unbelievable.
Connor McDavid, 16.
Yeah. I mean, you literally can't get better than Draisaitl. He has the most.
So Draisaitl, 23. McDavid, 16. Hyman, 11, which is really good. Really good. Puljujarvi, 8. Okay. Yamamoto, 5. And then nobody else on the team has more than 4, and only 2 people have 4 goals.
Now we're getting into a big bunch of
4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, let me run you through the zeros. 0, 0. Okay, ready?
Run me through.
I always forget how to pronounce his name.
Cuckoo.
Slater Cuckoo. Brendan Perlini, Tyler Benson, and then it's not fair to the other guys that haven't played a lot. But like, can I get more than a goal out of Kyle Turris? Can I get more than a goal out of it? Can Derek Ryan get more? Derek Ryan has 1 goal and 1 point in 24 games.
I think one of those points came last night, actually. He got half his points. The problem with the Oilers is obvious and has always been. Like, this is the problem, right? Like, I looked at their offseason acquisitions and I went, all right, well, they increased their strength.
Certainly.
Warren Fogle, Zach Hyman up front. They're heavier, they're tougher. Good. These are good things that will make them good. And then they signed Cody Ceci to 4 goddamn years. I saw a team's defense with Ceci and Barry as 2 of the 3 guys on the right side. And I don't know how any hockey mind could have seen the 1920 Leafs and gone,
give me some of that. Like, 1 year with the Penguins does not change an NHL player.
I mean, I can't believe they're both on the same team again. That's staggering.
Well, Steve, you got to remember too, Dubas defended Ceci right to the end. There's something about NHL GMs and Cody Ceci. They just love it.
Every GM is going to defend every dumb decision they ever made. The other day, Jim Rutherford was like,
I don't regret Jack Johnson and Erica Branson signings.
Yeah, and I saw people like, oh, he's learned nothing. I'm like, did you expect him to be like, oh, listen, I'm in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty smart. I got 3 cups. But that move, that was bullshit. Yeah, that's one of the worst moves I've ever done.
Also to trash players who are in the NHL. Like, he's never going to do that.
Don't sewer guys that you might know personally.
Right.
Like, it's sort of he might be, like, listen, they may not have played well for him, but they might be friends or they might be friends.
You gave him millions of dollars. Yeah. Why would I shit on you?
I'm not going to shit on him.
No, that's why that clip of Paul Maurice in the Leafs goalies always blows my mind. It was years after he was no longer with the Leafs organization. And he was just like, he was telling a story. He's like, we had a goalie who was not good and the other one was a non-option.
He was right, though.
Oh, he was right.
I remember
you don't do that.
You and Berkshire years ago did a thing on, has Paul Maurice ever had a good goalie?
Yeah, it was.
And the answer was unequivocally no.
It was,
he was in Carolina coaching for the second time and he still didn't have a good goalie.
The best goalie he had in like 20 plus years of coaching was like Sean Burke. And yeah, that's a fascinating piece. We should go back and update.
By the way, did Sean Burke ever return to Twitter?
I hope not.
What happened?
I don't
remember, but it was not good. I remember it being not good.
Did he get canceled?
He poofed.
Yeah.
That was a guy that when people were talking about was going to be a GM. And then there was some things, and now not. Yeah. Weird.
Where are we?
We're on
the Oilers.
Oilers here. Here's the thing with the Oilers, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. What's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 games is McDavid and Draisaitl are going to score a goofy goal. It's going to be something stupid that shouldn't go in. Like the Draisaitl goal, or should have been a goal in the first period against the Leafs. something ridiculous that in no way should ever go in is going to go in for one of the two of them. They're both going to get going, and the Oilers will be fine.
This is why the attitude and body language thing is so huge with them. They outplayed the Leafs through 40 minutes. Was it the first goal or the second goal? It was the first goal that Tavares shot and Nurse tipped on net, and Koskinen had to make a big save. That's kind of a fluke, isn't it? Okay. The TJ Brody first goal of the season, and the Leafs' only 7th goal from the blue line, by the way. McDavid tipping that in. Come on. That's a fluke, too. Draisaitl missing a net that he might miss half a dozen times in his entire career.
That a 3-year-old couldn't miss.
Yeah. That's just one of those things.
It just happened.
What if the game, it doesn't need to be this giant catastrophe, but they're in such a bad spot right now. They're in such a bad place, having lost 6 straight games, that it's like what's the saying? You can't see the forest for the trees?
Yep. I just feel for them because whenever they don't perform to 180 points a year, the team doesn't win. Can you imagine that kind of pressure? I know they get paid for it, but at the same time, that's why I brought up the goals for the rest of the Oilers. Somebody, please score a fucking garbage goal, please.
Yeah, well, and that's why losing Zach Hyman is huge.
Oh, yeah, that's brutal. Now,
because you're talking about their 3rd leading goal scorer.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I want to talk about this. We've mentioned this before. This is something we brought up a couple seasons ago. Pretty hard to argue in my mind that there has ever been a better player in a Toronto Maple Leaf uniform than Auston Matthews.
Yeah, he's pretty good, eh?
And I mean, in any era, anywhere. You cannot,
yeah.
I don't think you can really make that argument unless you're one of those people that just says older hockey's better. Older hockey is better. It's better. It's not, there's no...
Based on BS.
There's no reasonable, Matthews to his generation is better than any Leaf ever to their generation, as far as I'm concerned. Matthews scored his 20th goal last night, actually 19th and 20th goal last night. He's the first player since Dave Keon, and they're the only 2 players in Leaf history to do this, start their career with 20 goals each of their first 6 seasons. And think about this. Think about what he had to do that, especially the last 2 seasons.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I know.
And to have 40 goals last year.
Bum wrist. 40 goals.
40 goals in 56 games, and he missed a few.
I think it was even less. It was 52. You're a mutant.
It's crazy. And again, remember how I told you a couple games ago there was a shot that went in that shouldn't have gone in that Matthews scored, and I'm like, only Auston Matthews scores that goal. The second goal that he scored last night in the 3rd period, where he's coming in from the slot right to center, and he scores, and then he did the fist pump in the air because he knew it was 20. You knew he was excited. Yeah. That is an Auston Matthews goal. Anybody else that's in the goalie's chest, the play's dead. Auston Matthews, that gets in because his shot's different.
I do love Sportsnet, big team Sportsnet guy, but TSN games where Matthews scores a goal are very funny because Ray Ferraro has the same reaction every time. Oh!
I fucking love Ray Ferraro. He's so great.
That's what he did on the 5th one. Because Matthews just rips this fucking thing. And Ray Ferraro just goes, oh.
That's crazy.
It's hilarious. Crazy. It's a goal that you see any other player score that. You're like, oh, that was kind of a shitty goal.
Yeah, but
it's Matthews, and you give him the respect that he has the touch of God when he's holding a hockey stick.
I just don't think it goes in if it's most other people.
No.
It just doesn't.
It doesn't.
If it's anybody else, it's in the chest. Right in the chest.
So too slow.
Auston Matthews is the greatest Leaf of all time.
In my mind,
he's on his way.
Unquestionably. Already the best. He's already the most talented. He's got to win something.
Yeah.
There's best player to ever wear the uniform, and then there's...
Most successful player to ever wear the uniform.
Yeah, most successful or best resume. Best individual
I think the best resume should belong... I know people are big on Keon. I've always been a Mahovlich guy. I think Frank Mahovlich, though he was never captain, Frank Mahovlich was, to me, the best. He was the best Leaf at the time, skill-wise, and he won all the cups in the 60s.
There's an argument there.
It's Frank Mahovlich.
Ted Kennedy has one of only 2 Hart trophies for the Leafs.
Wow. Only
Calder.
2.
Yeah, we have Babe Pratt.
Babe
Babe die? I don't know.
No, Babe.
His name was Babe. That's how long ago it was, all right?
Yeah.
His name was Babe.
Babe Pratt.
Babe Pratt.
In
what year?
43, 44, and then Ted
So,
Kennedy was 54.
they had-
55.
Adam, when was that?
They hadn't even jumped on the beach in Normandy yet.
There
And
it
Babe
is.
Pratt's winning the Hart Trophy.
That's okay.
Just
I was
saying.
so ready.
Balls.
I was so ready to just whatever year you said I was gonna be like, Adam, what happened that year?
Yeah, that would
And
be...
then, but Matthews has the only rocket, like in the history of the 100 and whatever years.
Well, the
of
Rocket
Leafs,
didn't exist that long, right? I
No,
think it's 20 years old now.
I think he's the only Leaf to ever lead
to lead the league in scoring.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's
stupid.
for sure.
Yeah,
Like, how didn't you just get one?
right. There were
Just
6
one-
teams.
There were 6 teams, and none of them were like, yeah.
None of your guys led the league in
Nope.
goals.
Nope.
Oh, Mahavlich this year. Or oh man, I don't know. George Armstrong caught fire.
Yeah, none of them did it.
None.
No,
not
they were
one.
all with the Habs. Like Jeffrion and Richard and the second Richard and like everybody. It's just ridiculous.
Isn't that amazing? Like, yeah, there's only 6 teams, but one of them has Maurice Richard.
Yeah,
Nobody else mattered.
I guess you're kinda
some people
screwed.
would also throw Johnny Bauer into the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the most beloved
Mhm.
Leaf of all time,
Yeah.
Johnny Bauer. But I don't necessarily know if he's got the best resume. I still think that belongs to, if you're going to give, for my money, it's Frank Mahovlich all day.
Bauer's got a Vezina or 2.
Did he win a Vezina?
I-
I think, yeah, he split a Vezina with
Think
Terry
he did.
Sawchuk, I'm pretty sure.
He's got
I think you're
2.
2 Vezinas.
He
That's
split
pretty
one with
amazing.
Sawchuk in 64-65, one in 60-61.
And I think Jacques Plante won a Vezina with the Leafs as well in like the 70s or something weird.
I was so proud of myself. Last night I saw a TikTok and it was like, which player won the cup 5 times and has his name spelt differently each of the 5 times? And without cheating, I said Jacques Plante and I looked it up and it was Jacques Plante.
Are you
So proud.
Are you on hockey trivia TikTok?
Apparently. There's worse TikToks you could be
There
on.
is way worse.
Sure.
Hey, how's your sleep been lately? It's kind of an important question. A lot of people ask it, and you kind of shuffle off the answer like, it's been fine. Is fine good enough when it comes to your sleep, which is something you do, hopefully, 6 to 8 hours a night? That's the recommendation. To sleep right, you got to have the right mattress. To get the right mattress, you got to get a mattress that tailors itself to the way you sleep, and that's why you should go with Helix. Listen, I got a Helix mattress, and I took the quiz. It took 2 minutes, and it matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Why would you buy a mattress made for somebody else? With Helix, you get a mattress that you know would be perfect for the way you sleep. And here's the other part. Sometimes, if you're lucky enough, you sleep with someone else, as in they're sleeping over. Or maybe you guys are together full time and you're always sleeping together. What about how they sleep? Well, the Helix mattress quiz kind of matches that too, which is kind of sweet, right? So you both get the kind of sleep you're looking for. If you're looking for a mattress, take the quiz. You order the mattress, you're matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door. It's shipped for free. You don't have to go to the mattress store. It was awarded the #1 overall best mattress in 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. And Helix has been recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine. It's a go-to for sleep improvements. And if you just go to helixsleep.com/STP, you take the 2-minute quiz, they'll match you with the customized mattress, give you the sleep of your life, 10-year warranty. They'll even pick it up for free if you don't like it. After 100 nights, risk-free, you get to try it. Go to helixsleep.com/STP, and we're going to offer you this, $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. You can keep the pillows. helixsleep.com/STP. Check it out. How's your mental health? Listen, the best way to think about therapy is somebody, a member of my family who's a gearhead said, you tune up your car. When was the last time you tuned up your brain? And it's kind of always stuck with me, right? I love cars. I love my brain. Who knew, right? Great one. And that's the thing. We go to the gym, we work out our bodies. Therapy is a workout for that. It's making sure that you're taking care of the health that protects your health. Your mental health, it's where it all starts, and BetterHelp can help you. Here's the thing. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions for you and your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to, if you don't feel comfortable. It's also more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Why would you invest in everything else but not your mind? This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/SDP, and you'll get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/STP. Look after you. The other thing I wanted to bring up with the Leafs, and then we'll move on, is Neal Pionk's discussion about Rasmus Sandin. And this drew a lot of ire on Twitter. If you remember, Neal Pionk was the one that knee-on-kneed Rasmus Sandin.
Yeah.
Jason Spezza with the retaliation hit. Pionk got 2 games. Spezza got 6. If you're watching the play, which the refs were, Pionk should have been out of the game immediately. And I think based on his comments, he would agree with that sentiment. So listen to what he says. He said, listen, I'm not out there to hurt anybody or have any sort of intent. It made me sick watching him go off the ice, and he's limping off the ice. He's a great young defenseman, and I never want to cut a career short, even by a game. So there's remorse there, and definitely not intent on the hit. I understand what I did wasn't right, and I've accepted that. I'm just looking forward to moving forward.
I'm not jacked on Neal Pionk. Neither are Leaf fans aren't because of they already weren't because of the Marner hit with the empty net last year, and then he did this. As far as comments or apologies go, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Keeps going.
Oh, wow.
No, I can't change it 100%. But at the same time, I have to learn my lesson. I think the biggest thing about giving a hit like that and serving a suspension is you have to learn from your mistakes. I got to learn to pick my spots. I've got to learn to pick my spots better and make clean body contact. I tried everything I could with my shoulder. Obviously, I didn't, and what happened happened. So, you know what? And I know a lot of Leaf fans are super pissed because Pionk was on concussion protocol and then and then Spezza got suspended, and then all of a sudden he magically was fine again. And I say magically because that's the perspective that they had. But a concussion can be a few days, or it can be a few months, or a few years. It's not. I don't think that there's some sort of thing where the Winnipeg Jets are out to get the Leafs and Jason Spezza.
The word undiagnosed when attached to concussion made me rethink concussions. Because my wife has had a concussion. She slipped on some ice.
Ooh.
I have never had a concussion. And then
Maybe.
I was like, well, and someone I was talking to, they're like, really, you've never had a concussion? And I was thinking back to all these moments in my life. And I was like, I have had 12 concussions. Have I ever told this story on the show about the winter tires? We have a little loft in the garage where we keep our winter tires. And my wife, who is small, she's perfect to go up there and then pass them down to me. We had a miscommunication, and she dropped the tire metal rim first.
Oh, no.
Not the rubber, metal rim first. Boom, right onto the top of my goddamn head. And I don't know why I didn't go to the hospital. This was only a few years ago. I should have gone.
I feel that in my head.
I feel it right now. Woo, in my ears. That's all I hear from now on. But no doctor ever said I had a concussion. So 0 still. The tire, the entire ass winter tire that fell on my head, no concussion. I'm fine.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's something you can't see on your body.
Yeah.
It's happening in your brain, so you just don't know.
That's probably the worst I've ever had my egg scrambled. That fucking sucked.
Oh.
That was really bad. But listen to the way I talk about it. I had my egg scrambled. No, Steven, you had head trauma.
Right.
You probably should have gone to the hospital.
You had a severe injury.
I mean, kind of.
brain.
And the compression on my neck, too. Fuck.
Yeah.
So, but as it comes to Neal Pionk, and we got off track there, which is what we do.
Sorry.
Neal Pionk, I have to say, from my perspective, that's about as a Leaf fan, a diehard Leaf fan who wanted to jump through the screen with a sword and fight Pionk to the death.
I had a kilt and blue and white face paint on.
Yeah,
Are you kidding?
100%. You're fighting hurting our dear boy Rasmus. That's about as good as it gets when it comes to taking responsibility. And we've asked for that from players before, and he did it.
Yeah.
How great is that?
We sat here when you were away, Adam, and we spent half an hour on how poorly Brad Marchand reacted to what he said to Panarin and Panarin throwing the glove, and how he would take no responsibility for saying a terrible thing to him on the ice. So
no introspection.
Just absolutely zero. He defended his point. He tripled and quadrupled down on it. So, and we took so much time to focus on that. So when somebody comes out and is like, hey, he basically says, I'm sorry for kneeing him. Like, we should also focus on that and be like, credit to Neal Pionk for doing that.
I know it's a small portion of Leaf fans, and even a small portion of Leaf fans is a lot of Leaf fans. Holy shit, chill. I thought every now and then the red mist comes down, and it's like the Hulk going back down to Bruce Banner, and I'm like, did I overreact to that game? To the fact that people are still overreacting to that. Guys, like,
Well, I think too.
There's so much to do in the world.
Well, and then
Like-
and here's where you lose me. And listen, I have my questions about Blake Wheeler. I've had them since last season and before.
Sure.
But rooting for Blake Wheeler to be injured, like that, I can't get
Rolling
behind
for
that. Anybody, but specifically it was Blake Wheeler because, and then
Scheifele got kneed the next game, and everyone was like,
Yeah, see, I get it. I get feeling that way. I get it. But let's not give into our baser instincts if we can, where possible. I get it. I get feeling that way. Like when Kevin Durant went down in the NBA Finals and everybody cheered in the stadium, and then everybody was like, "Holy shit, that was really bad." Did I say that out loud? Really? Like, we're human beings.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shame anyone.
He was cooking that night.
Yeah, he was.
Unbelievable.
Yo, he was going to dominate and that series, man. We know that.
First quarter, every single person in the Greater Toronto area just went fuck.
Yeah.
If he plays 6 and 7, like, it's over.
Well, look what he did last night to the Raptors.
And Clay.
There's like 7 people
And
with the
Clay.
Brooklyn
Clay was
Nets, and he just wins the game on his own. He's Kevin Durant.
Yes.
My thinking, though, is that just with this, it's like, I get why you're bothered. I get feeling that way. I want it. I'll tell you. I'll give you a straight up. The first thing I said when Tavares went down in the first round of the playoffs last year was, fuck Corey Perry. And my girlfriend looked at me and she's like, excuse me? And I said, that fucking guy is such a rat. And then I went into a whole thing about it. And then we watched the replay. And it's very clearly not Corey Perry's fault.
Yeah.
But here's where I became more irrational because I doubled down. I was like, no, Natalie, look at him. He's not trying to get out of the way. This fucking guy. And then Foligno fought him. I'm like, yeah. And then I slept on it. And I remember going back into the kitchen the next day and I said, you know what? You were right about that. And I'm not sure what to say about myself. And so I like, trust me when I say I get it. But let's not root for people to get injured.
I think partners
fair?
love those moments where you're like, hey. So I've done some thinking. That was a bit much.
Yeah.
I've never had to do that.
I'm sure you haven't.
Ever.
You know what? The thing about Steve, Jesse, I think if we were to do like a control test, everybody would say how reasonable he is.
Steve?
Yeah. Just the reasonable reaction guy.
Except for when I'm not.
You are very reasonable in real life.
Generally speaking. But
Extraordinary.
We're talking about Neal Pionk here and how great of a guy
we're talking about
Yeah.
the fan reaction here. It's just,
Sure.
every now and
here's
then
the thing.
I get lockjaw, but for the most part, yeah. I'm
Leaf
pretty
fans,
reasonable. Yeah.
don't be the stereotype that they make you out to be. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You're the Leafs. We're already Darth Vader here. So we don't need to double down and be cruel about it.
Well, and
Just kick ass.
and
Darth
to
Vader kicked ass. Kick some ass.
to every other fan base, if you go out there looking for the worst in people, I promise you'll find it.
100%.
Like
Now,
it's just, that's not most people.
speaking of the worst. Speaking of the absolute worst.
Jesse.
What's up? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about
The
this.
worst.
Guys,
I would like to defend that.
guys, what did I say? What was my most correct take in the playoffs last year?
Boo, Napoleon. Sorry.
Your most correct.
Listen, there's some bad ones, but my most correct take in the playoffs.
It's not the Canadiens. 'Cause
Tampa will beat Montreal in 5.
My most correct take.
was that the Canadiens would lose in the Stanley Cup final, but along the way you were wrong in every instance.
Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
You know
Swing and a
what
miss.
You know what he's about to do?
What?
Adam, why don't you like Dominic Ducharme?
Guys, I'll tell you why, Dominic Ducharme.
Oh, you nailed it.
I'll tell you
Steve.
why.
Well done.
Jeff Ducharme. Dominic Ducharme.
I know him too well.
Then why is this the hill you want
I'll
to
tell you why
die
Dominic
on?
Ducharme. I was right about Dominic Ducharme from game 1. Habs fans said, no, you're fucking crazy. No, I was right about this guy, and you're seeing it now. Here's where the Habs are at.
Uh-huh.
Do you
Okay.
have a quote there?
Oh, no, I got the Petry thing.
Oh, he's toast. Yeah.
Actually, Jesse, do you want to pull the actual Petry
You want me to
quote?
play it?
Yeah, can you
Yeah,
play it?
I
Stop
can
calling
play it.
everyone
here's-
Jeff.
So here's what we got. The Montreal Canadiens currently sit in goals for per game, third last. In goals against per game, third most allowed.
Oh, I was like, hey. Oh, wait.
Power
That's the
play
opposite.
percentage, third last. Penalty kill percentage, third last. Shots per game, 25th.
Yikes.
And Jeff Petry, who is objectively the best player currently on the roster,
And has missed time.
and has missed time, but he's the best player on the roster. Jeff Petry rules.
Him or Suzuki. He's strong.
Not this year.
Yeah.
No, it's Jeff Petry. It's Jeff Petry, the warrior king.
Who
Here's-
just...
I'm stalling for time here because I should have set this up properly. But I told you from the beginning.
He's got a mustache that screams hockey dad in 1992. You know what I mean? You picture him with the bomber jacket. You know?
Yeah, they're definitely
sipping bad coffee.
Like he's the kind of he's the kind here. I've got the quote here. We don't have to play the audio if you can't find it.
And chomping on
I don't have the audio.
He's definitely like a kid's dad who yelled at me on the other team. You know what I mean? You know how like some dads will just like yell at you and you'll be like, I don't know who you are. This is from Arpin Basu, but everybody got this quote. It's the same things over and over. We're not playing as a team. We're not playing as a group. It's like you're searching to find where people are. It seems like there's no structure out there.
That's the guillotine. He's done.
Told you Dominic Ducharme was not an NHL coach from the beginning. The Habs in the playoffs last year did not play like an NHL coach. The lineup decisions were not NHL worthy. They were not. But you have Carey Price.
Well,
you have Carey Price, man.
Well, and now though,
you ride the best goalie in the world to the finals. That is hockey. I'm willing to accept that. But can we please finally acknowledge that this guy should have never been the head coach in the first place? This is where trying to find a francophone coach all the time is going to run you into trouble. I understand that there's a cultural need for that there, but if you're going to make a change midseason like they did with Claude Julien, you better have somebody ready to go who's capable. And there are people that are capable, but Ducharme was never capable from game one.
Here's a question, because there's been a lot of discussion about, you need to have not just a French speaking coach and GM. They need to be francophone. Right?
Yeah. Well, they've just changed that. Jeff Gordon is not.
He's not the GM though.
Yeah, but he is.
He's the acting GM at the moment.
Yeah, but he's the kind of whoever the GM is. It's still Jeff Gordon's team. So no. Listen, it's the way around it.
So there's an argument to the coach or the GM. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why it has to be both. Like, do you see how super limiting that is? It's limiting if you do it at one position. But I understand the cultural importance of it.
Absolutely.
To do it at both, boy.
You are eliminating good prospects. People. Like, you're eliminating good potential people. And so that you do run into problems with that. I'm not saying that there aren't talented candidates. There are. But if you're going to make a change midseason, it makes it really hard for the Canadiens. Ergo, you end up with Dominic Ducharme. Let me throw this at you. Jason Spezza would be the leading scorer on the Habs roster working on it.
No.
Yes.
That's
goals?
Not good.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
This team was in the Stanley Cup final 6 months ago. They've had injuries. They've had COVID protocol. I know Carey Price has been out. I know what you're going to DM me, guys. I know. Yeah. But you watch this Montreal team. They are uninspired. They are unstructured. And they are un-Montreal.
To me, the most concerning part of all of it is the kids do not really appear to be taking a step forward.
Of course not. Because they don't have a good leader.
Yeah, Romanov, I've heard good things. It's not like I can watch every game. But
no, Romanov's a top five defenseman in the league first game.
Oh God, who said that?
Mark Bergevin. Now, I didn't say that, but it was like, this Romanov kid, boy, he's going to change hockey.
Right.
Now they can't even get him in the lineup sometimes.
It's been a struggle with Caulfield. Suzuki is not doing as hot without Deneau. But this was supposed to be the big thing. Like, okay, they're going to struggle this year.
But not like this.
Well, but not like this, and don't worry, you'll be able to watch the kids. Like, so that I had a conversation with Berkshire because some people were making jokes about, like, oh, how do you cover bad teams? And I'm like, why is everyone looking at me? Oh, because I did it for a decade? Right. So I was like, well, you focus on the kids. And nothing's going right for any of them.
No.
It's a bad time.
Well, and think about this. It's the worst start, objectively, by any metric, in Montreal Canadiens history through 30 games.
Really?
It's the worst start in Montreal Canadiens history. And I understand
it's not good.
That not every year is going to be good, especially in the salary cap era. You're going to have retool years. Weber's out, Price is out, for sure. I get it. But
we knew Weber was out a long time ago.
Yeah, we did. But the thing for me is that, yes, they never had a contingency plan. Julian brought that up in one of the first game overs. He said, I think it was Julian or it was Andrew, one of the two of them said, you knew that the clock was ticking on Weber and you did nothing to fix it.
See, I don't even know if it was nothing. like they got David Savard, and
No, I'm talking about pre-David Savard. You had 5 years to draft and develop somebody, and you didn't.
Oh,
Well, Romanov was supposed to be the guy.
on the left.
Yeah.
And this is the
They just
thing.
don't have enough.
If this franchise was overperforming expectations, heck, if Nick Suzuki was having a banner year, it's a different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that they're bad. It's, and you said it a little bit earlier, it's how they're bad.
I still can't believe they made the Stanley Cup final. I
I'm
still can't believe
honestly,
Hockey, you can go on a run.
it.
you can.
It's crazy.
it ruins my day every now and then. Like I'm serious. Like
You just think about it.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable.
I look at the standings right now, and I'm like, I really am never gonna forgive the Toronto Maple Leafs. I really, I cannot fucking believe they didn't make it till at least the third round.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
then Winnipeg and Vegas fans should feel the same.
Oh, yeah. They should also feel the same.
And they don't.
That
but they should.
No, they don't, because no, Vegas fans should. When the Jets weren't good,
Yeah.
they weren't good. The Leafs would have killed them. And holy shit,
And Vegas, they collapsed on themselves. They didn't
Yeah.
have enough.
they were. So I streamed those games. I was mad at Vegas watching it, not because I wanted the Habs to lose, but because I wanted to watch an entertaining hockey game.
Yeah.
They were like, they were imposters.
They were dead.
Chandler Stevenson going out shouldn't destroy your entire lineup.
Nope.
But then he came back.
Yeah.
That's what everyone said is, oh man, just you wait. And then he came back and nothing changed.
Nothing helped.
Apparently, Montreal has not, or Jeff Gorton has not reached out to any of the potential GM candidates yet. They have not figured out who the next head coach is going to be. And although this is exciting, 3 of the people on the list are women.
Yeah.
For
That's
GM.
That was a
very
great
cool.
That's
note,
nice
yeah.
to hear. Finally.
Chris CJ keeps making the point that it's a perfect position for somebody to learn on a job because you have Jeff Gorton. Like
Yeah.
if you need
Yeah.
this, if you want to do something really adventurous and put a woman in that role, like this is the perfect situation.
Or someone younger.
Is
someone
Mon-
young.
But
yeah.
is Montreal the market to do it in? That would be, if Jeff Gorton plays and if excuse the Toronto reference here, but Masai Ujiri is the GM of the Raptors, even though he's the president, right? We have Bobby Webster, I think, but
I think so.
Yeah, we did this. We did this.
yeah.
We did this
but
on the day.
I am concerned. I am concerned about Montreal's a tough market. It's a tough one to become a learner GM in. It
Bobby
is.
Webster was the GM of the Raptors for at least a year before I knew he was.
Right.
He still is.
And he still is.
give-
Here, you want to do a little quick thing? 22 games Cole Caulfield has played in the NHL this year. How many goals?
2.
1.
Ooh, that's not good.
That's tough.
Fits right in the Oilers' depth.
Damn.
Here's the thing,
dare
though.
you.
I want to give Montreal credit, except for Stephon Waite, who was an idiot this week on Montreal radio. Did you hear this?
No.
French radio.
You're really tapped into Montreal.
I am now. Yeah, I fucking love this. I love the French side of it. So he goes on the radio and I guess he was the goaltending coach for a bit, and then he was fired. And then he said,
that was a couple years ago, wasn't
he said that the coaches all used to get together and joke about Jonathan Drouin and say, I wonder if there's a provision in his deal that says he's not allowed to score. And
Oh, God.
and you just kind of go, after what Drouin went through, you go, this fucking bum, right? Like, come on. Bullshit thing.
as an adult, I love referring to people as a fucking bum.
That's a bum move. That's a bum move. You're bum, right?
Yes.
We might even call you a smelly bum. But
I'm a
I like
child.
just not cool, man. But also, I want to say this.
They say
I want to
wild
give
shit on the radio in Montreal.
Yeah, I want to give fans in Montreal huge credit, though. And I want to compare and contrast this to what happened last night in Edmonton. We said the Oilers will be fine. They'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oiler fan, team is still in the playoffs, still in a wild card spot as of this morning. Oiler fan throws a jersey on the
I
ice.
forgot that even happened.
Like, stop it.
But that also means they're going to go on a winning streak because every team that has a jersey thrown on the ice turns out to be a
Maybe
great
maybe that's
team.
why
hero.
they did it. Yeah.
Vancouver Canucks, what are they, 5-0?
5-0!
Bruce Boudreau?
It's incredible.
Like,
It's not him.
It's the jersey.
It's a jersey.
The jersey is good luck.
But Canadiens fans will not accept this shit. And they just went to the final 6 months ago, and they're like, no. I love that. I love the heat's on in Montreal. Keep it up. This is bullshit. They should Montreal, even if they're not going to be in the playoffs, the expectation is they outperform what they should do. And they're not.
As a Leaf fan, I can't help but have reverence for the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, their rich history, but they also have the most fascinating fan-team relationship in all of hockey.
Without question.
Yeah,
It's
because
amazing.
They're loyal. They're get the hell out of here. They're and like they never seem to be out of line. They always seem to be. I always see logic. Anyway,
I thought you were gonna reference a specific number, Adam, to give credit to the Montreal Canadiens fans, because right now in the National Hockey League, the Montreal Canadiens lead in home attendance.
Wow.
Their fans, despite the worst season in Montreal Canadiens history,
They're going.
have packed the building more than any other team. They currently average 19,891 fans. That is number one in the entire NHL. Credit to the Montreal Canadiens fans.
and they could still fit another 2,000.
Yeah, because they have the biggest building as well. It might be the United Center or them, one of the two.
I think it's the United Center, but they got the biggest one in Canada.
Yeah, second place is Tampa. But yeah, they're beating them by like 800 people a game.
Second's Tampa.
Tampa, yeah, 19,092.
Gary Bettman, genius.
And lastly, before we get to the press conference here, because we brought up Boudreaux, 5-0. What a comeback against Columbus, and the Bruce, there it is chance happening.
Now we go live to Booker T asking Bruce Boudreaux how many wins he has in a row.
The 5-time. I'm not going to do the whole thing.
Why not?
It's too long.
You got to 2. You just need 3 more.
No, whenever he did it in real life, I was like, this is awesome. And then he got to number 3, and I'm like, that's enough. That's enough, Booker T.
Come on.
Remember when he, okay, 5-time. I already have a headache. 5-time WCW champion.
Love Booker T.
Yes.
So one of the things that finally somebody
No.
asked about this, Trevor Zegras scored that. Trevor Zegras and Sonny Milano scored the goal. Tort says the thing. Everybody they scored the goal. Everybody blows up. Tort says the thing. Everybody blows up. And somebody finally asked Trevor Zegras what he thought of what Tort said.
Oh, great.
I love this response. He's like, it's one of those things where I'm not really too worried what he's thinking or what he's saying. I thought it was weird that he would try to, I don't know, kind of, I don't want to say shoot it down, but I feel like it did so much good for the game.
Good for the kid. That's a
I mean, the
rookie.
guy yelled Michigan, and he knew it. Like, Milano yelled Michigan, they knew.
That, I love that Zegras provided that context because it makes the goal and the celebration that came after make so much more sense. That's why Zegras was stunned. He's like, holy shit, you called for that. Like, Zegras did it. Milano saw it before it happened. That's hockey galaxy brain.
Yeah.
There are universes and Milky Ways just orbiting Sonny Milano's head.
Yeah, Milano's not getting enough credit for making the call, is he?
No, but also, like, how impressive is Trevor Zegras that Milano is like, oh, I know he can do this thing that's never been done. Here, can you do it? Thanks.
Seen him in practice. Here's what he said, too. He said Patrick Kane would spinorama and all these guys would be doing cool stuff. I don't know. I just could relate more to that aspect. I really don't see where he was coming from. It's one of those things where he's entitled to his opinion. I guess we just got to live with it. And I think that's true. Like, we talked about this before, but it's like the new generation. You know, the older guard was like, we like a good punch up and a good goal. This generation's more like, how many fucking trick shots can we work into a game and absolutely blow your mind? I like that kind of hockey. That kind of hockey's fun.
Oh, it's awesome.
The game in the next 5 years is going to be just the product itself. If this sort of stuff continues, we're in for just a blessed 5 years.
We said that 5 years ago, and we were right. You know, there's all these new, it's like special abilities, X factors, you might call them, if you work for EA Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the Matthews patented shot.
Yeah.
Who does that? The answer used to be no one. Then it was Auston Matthews, and now it's a few guys kind of do it. The Zegras, like, I can't wait to see the next guy who does it.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's so good. And like the threat of the Michigan has led to
You could just yell Michigan. And
other
people
offense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could do it to mess with people. You could do what Matthews did that one time where he went to pick it up and then just put it in front to Nylander for a goal. You could do what Zegras did. Or you could just fucking shovel it in like Svechnikov. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. Good. Or wait, what if it's bad?
I hadn't considered that.
No, because you're smart.
Let's get in the press conference. So I've been hearing about this company, Stance, known for their socks. They're the official casual sock of the NBA, and they are the official sock of the MLB. They got both casual and uncasual with the MLB. So, I mean, good for them, right? They're moving up in the world. Here's the thing. I tried them. I love them. They're great. They're great socks. I think here's the thing about socks is that, you get your boring old socks. Usually you get them at the holidays. You're like, thanks, Nan. I really appreciate that. And you do. You use your socks every day. But why can't we have good, fun, form-fitting and socks that are going to actually, survive the wash? Well, here's a great thing, too. Stance also has a line of athletic apparel that you've got to check out. Tons and tons of great quality items. Stance's whole focus is comfort, quality, and creativity. It's about being comfortable, and it's about fitting right. Stance believes the perfect fit matters more than fitting, and that's why we want you to see for yourself. So if you register an account at stance.com and get 15% off your first purchase, use the promo code ATHLETIC. That's it. Checkout. It's ATHLETIC. Use the promo code ATHLETIC, stance.com. Enjoy the color and comfort of a life less ordinary with Stance.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
We have some house cleaning to take care of. We need to get our phones and set the Roombas so that it can clean our house. First of all,
I don't have a Roomba.
I have a Roomba.
Well, Steve,
It's the best.
join the club.
The best. $2
First
and
of
a
all,
cat.
yesterday there was a very big episode of Agent Provocateur. Max Weinberg, drummer of Bruce Springsteen, joined Adam Wilde and Alan Walsh.
And Conan O'Brien.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Adam, do you want to talk a little about the show
Well,
and why people should go listen?
So here's the thing. So this guy is one of the best drummers of all time. And a lot of people were like, who is that? Because if you didn't watch Conan or you're not an E Street Band fan, you might not know Max Weinberg. But not only is he great, but he tells incredible stories and he talks about his son, who's the drummer in Slipknot.
All the comments, like, you ever get the comments that are before they've watched the episode? Ask him about his son. Like, they're trying to ask you in the past. Ask him about his son.
Yeah, it's like, I've already asked the questions, guys.
The podcast is up.
Yeah.
No, but do it. Call him back.
I think you're gonna like this if you like music. I think if you like music, you'll enjoy this. And the thing is that I know dad rock gets a bad name with our generation for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
It used to just be rock.
Yeah, but it is dad rock now. I love that era of music. I always have. That's just been what I've gravitated towards. But there's a huge diversity of music now, and I think it's associated with a bunch of mouth breathing dads who are like, "Wow, music's just not the same." But the music itself that they actually like is quite good. And Bruce Springsteen, especially, this is a guy who is, I think, almost in his 70s, if not 70, who puts on 4-hour concerts 130 nights a year. Like, you have to understand.
And as a drummer.
Yeah, and Max Weinberg has his band, and he was talking about it like it's a cover band, right? And they'll play this thing on stage called Stump the Band, and they'll quite literally, people from the audience will name a song. The band will take a minute in front of 50,000 people in a stadium. They'll try to figure it out, and then they'll start playing it.
So his band specifically, they're called, I think, the Jukebox.
Yeah.
So their whole thing is we're a jukebox as a band. You pick a song, we can play it.
I love that.
And Alan asked him how many songs he's got to know. He's like, I think he said 300 or 500.
In their repertoire of songs and history that you're gonna pull up, they can play 200.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you think about the amount of work that goes into that. And he's been drumming for 50 years. He talks about how he doesn't practice anymore because he straight up doesn't need to. But I thought the best story, and this is when his son Jay at 18, because Max, and I'll let the story explain it, gets a call from Bruce Springsteen. So Max is looped in with Conan. His son gets a call from Bruce Springsteen and says, "Hey, do you want to come play?" And what it was like for Max to watch him. It's a great story. It's a great show. Don't write it off just because, and I know our generation, man, it's like, this kind of music's not for me. The musical stories are ubiquitous. I don't care what artist they're coming from. I'm all the way in on stuff like this. So that part of it was amazing. And I got a ton of messages from people my age who were like, that I didn't know who that guy was, and that was great. Or I remember him from Conan, and I had no idea how he was that big with the E Street Band. Isn't that funny? It was like
You're both so impressive.
No, well, no, it's just. And by the way, I didn't do anything on that show. I asked one question. I sat there for an hour, asked one question.
But wasn't
that
it
is
great?
Alan's baby.
Wasn't it great?
Alan was all the way in on that, and I loved it. I was like, let him go. You guys go ahead. Somebody actually tweeted and said, hey, Alan, what does Adam do? I'm like, you're right. It's a good point. On this episode, not much. And that's okay.
You don't put a saddle on a Mustang.
That's right.
Yeah.
He is a sword-tweeting Mustang.
That's right.
So there was also one other update for Agent Provocateur, and Adam Wild doesn't even know this, but we set up an email. It's askalanwalsh@gmail.com.
How many L's are in Alan?
2 L's.
There you go. You're welcome.
We are looking for video and audio submissions for questions to ask Alan Walsh or Adam Wild if you have a question about Adam, I don't know, for Alan or something. I don't know. Ask your questions. We're hoping for video and audio submissions, so send them to askalanwalsh@gmail.com. And then in a future episode, I don't know when it's going to be, in the next couple of weeks or in a month or so, of the next Ask Alan show, we're going to have video and audio submissions from fans. So get those in pronto.
You don't have to answer this specifically. Do you have future guests booked already?
Yes. Or at least
How
they're
many?
circling.
How many?
4 or 5.
Are they hockey players?
No.
Better.
None of them?
Better. In hockey, if there was a way to tease it.
Will you tell me after the show?
Yes.
Don't tell him. Screw you guys!
Sometimes it's not the sometimes it's the biggest fans in the world that you would never expect of hockey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like celebrity fans.
Whoa.
Other times it's the people that pick the players.
Sometimes it's people who play hockey players in fictional
Could be.
scenes.
Oh my God. Russell Crowe? Tell him I love Mystery Alaska.
Alaska.
Wow.
Yeah. Man, that should not have gone off the post. That should have gone in, that last goal. Damn it. Almost tied the New York Rangers. Plausible.
How ashamed must the New York Rangers have been?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
dude.
It's embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
Jesse, what kind of questions we have?
Last house cleaning piece of business. Sorry, there's so much.
Oh no, it's no worries.
Today's Wednesday, so it means I'm streaming tonight. And
Hey.
Buffalo
Ooh.
Sabres rebuild is done. So we had to decide on something new. And I was going to do The Last of Us and just do a full playthrough and then
Whole thing?
do the whole playthrough and then upload the playthrough to YouTube or whatever. But we decided against that. Let's just get going.
lot.
Let's just get going on our next NHL 22 thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We decided on a series called One since 67.
One since 67.
We're
Oh.
going to try and win one Stanley Cup with the Toronto Maple Leafs
Oh.
As GM.
as GM.
No, man.
We're going to start last offseason when they collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we're going to try and win one Stanley Cup. Once again, we're going to have 5 years.
Oh, man.
But
Stakes are high.
in the last GMO, we set the mode to be 5 years. I think this time we're going to set it to be like 10 years.
Okay.
So that if we fail within the 5 years of the Toronto Maple Leafs, we can move on to another team and see how it goes and keep that same mode going. But tonight we're starting one since 67, our quest to win one Stanley Cup with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Very excited.
So I need to ask then. So that means no Bunting, no Richie, no Kasha, no Mrazek.
Not necessarily.
Well,
Not necessarily.
you're not going to start with them.
Maybe. I also haven't decided on if we're going to start. I think that's the best move. Like, we can start in September and maybe just do the moves that Dubas did. But I think we should start in July. I guess that was my thinking. But I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah?
I like that a lot because that was when we were the most mad, and we were like, "We're going to tear it down.
Yeah.
Tear it down.
Trade Marner.
Trade them. You got to trade one of them."
So that kicks off tonight. You'll see each episode up on YouTube the day after we stream live on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want a question now?
Yes.
Do you have any advice for the stream?
Win.
This question comes from BUCN92 on our Discord. Join our Discord. I have a wedding next summer that will be black tie in New Jersey for a friend of 10 plus years. His fiance is very sweet, and I'm very excited. She is also Gary Bettman's niece, and I've already attended one virtual event where he showed up, and I got the holy shit, it's Gary Bettman out of my system. My friend wants to introduce me to him, and I And I ask, should I wait to drink any alcohol beverage before meeting him?
No.
So as I don't put my foot in my mouth and express my opinions on how I think he's running
Don't do that.
his league.
Don't do that. Don't drink, and do not talk to Gary about what you think about how he's doing.
I mean, the fact that you're asking us the question
Don't do it.
answers it for you. But then there's Jesse's answer that I
No.
can read on his face, which
No.
is maximum chaos.
No, I'm with you guys on this.
I'm telling you, don't do it.
It's only bad.
There's a few places that are like definitely sacred. And I think
Family gatherings are sacred.
a family wedding, dude, get out of here. No,
Yeah.
leave the man alone.
I think you just don't. I think you don't. You just, you save business for business. Everybody is entitled to their family life. Don't go in there and do that.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is entitled to privacy, including somebody who you disagree with vehemently. I'm pro Gary Bettman on this one. Let him have his family time, for God's sakes. Maybe he'll make better decisions.
See, but there's nothing at stake for Jesse.
Why do you keep saying I think you should do
Because I
it?
see the little
Yeah.
shit look in
It'd
your
be-
face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would it be funny? Probably not. But
No.
is it a hilarious thing to think about? Yeah.
No, because it's however you think it's going to turn out, it's just going to be like, I just sort of made him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then he walked away.
Next question.
And I wasn't invited back.
This is from Kronk. Steve has often referred to the Leafs as their fans as Charlie Brown attempting to kick the football. Now, Kronk asks, how would you guys compare other teams' fans to cartoons? But
Oh.
I also want to know, was Charlie Brown an idiot for trying to kick the football, or did he just get fooled each time?
I think Charlie Brown sees the best in people, and Lucy takes advantage of him at every turn. Because everyone cites the dastardly football pulling as one of Lucy's... no, not one of Lucy's. It's Lucy's greatest crime against Charlie Brown. But what about the fact that she is his personal friend and charged him money for psychological advice that she was not qualified to do and was often bad? I didn't. Lucy's terrible.
Is Lucy terrible, or is Charlie Brown an idiot?
A well-meaning idiot. Yes. Listen, I'm sure we all know well-meaning idiots. I'd rather be friends with a well-meaning idiot
Than
than
an
a
asshole?
manipulative asshole, exploitive asshole like
That's Lucy.
Lucy.
Yeah.
She's terrible.
Charlie Brown was pretty dumb, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you feel bad for well, I guess you feel a little bad for the person who falls for the pyramid scheme, but you gotta, it's on them a little.
What's
Okay, remember that? Jesse, I remember in 2017, you and I were on the air at KISS, and we talked about a woman in Hamilton who believed she was speaking, I believe, to Keanu Reeves, and he said that he was stuck in Turkey
Yes.
and that he couldn't leave, and the government was holding him, and then he needed $5,000. And she, his true love, was the only one that could get her out.
She was like a Keanu Reeves super fan.
And she paid that.
Yeah.
What I said at the time, and I remain truthful to this, is that she may not have had the faculties to differentiate, but somebody around her did. And you need to look after your people. You need to look after the people in your life who are vulnerable to this. Okay? That's my thing.
I think that's the correct take.
So other cartoons, though.
So the point is, with the cartoon, is Charlie Brown does not have the brain power to not try to kick the football from Lucy. I blame his younger and much smarter sister. If she wasn't so obsessed with
name?
Linus, Lucy, not Lucy,
No,
the sister.
Olive?
No, that would be that's
Popeye?
Popeye's girlfriend.
No, she's Olive Oil.
Yeah,
I forget her name.
Brown sister.
Pearl? I don't remember.
Her name is Sally.
Sally.
Sally's very intelligent.
Yes.
And Sally regularly lets Charlie Brown fail. Sally's job, if she were a good person, I mean, she's like 7 in the show, so I mean, and maybe empathy hasn't kicked in yet, Sally's job would be to step in and go, knock it off, and hey, Lucy, go fuck yourself.
Well,
It's like the child protecting their grandparent from putting their credit card information in on Facebook.
Save Keanu Reeves from Turkey.
Yeah.
Stop letting
Adam nailed it.
Well, and Charlie Brown just spent his whole childhood getting pushed over. And it's like, where's his friend to tell him to stick up for himself? And then you realize that his friend still sucks his thumb and carries around a security blanket. And Charlie Brown's not even the most childish out of him and Linus.
Yep.
Who was the kid who played the piano? Should have been bigger friends with him.
It's not Linus?
He was the dirty one,
He
right?
had a weird name. No, that's Pigpen.
That's Pigpen.
Pigpen didn't play the piano.
Charlie Brown.
The piano kid was smart.
That's not Linus?
No, Linus is the blanket kid.
Yeah.
Who's
piano kid?
He
must have terrible neck problems.
Yeah.
See when we play the piano?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Other fan.
Compare-
This is a difficult question.
Compare other fan bases to cartoon scenarios. And then we're all done here.
Oh, God. It's exhausting at the end of the show to come up with this stuff.
Yeah. This is difficult mentally.
You don't got nothing?
I feel like there's a lot of Hey Arnold potential in there.
What you got?
Can I have some time to think about this? Because I want to actually give heartfelt
I bet there's a good answer we can come back to.
Yeah.
Next
You gonna do all
episode.
32?
No.
I'm going to do too many, I'm sure. That's just how I am.
Okay.
Or none.
Oh, that's a good bet.
I'm a mixed bag.
Steve comes back and he's like, I forgot.
Oh, shit.
Tim.
And it's
then we're
okay.
sitting
I'll
here.
have time later. My son! I forgot my son.
All right, we're all done.
Guys, we're all done here. So we'll see you. Yeah, it's Friday. And hey, next week we're going to do a couple of shows. And I guess I should mention that on Friday there'll be a very special World Junior show for you to download. Anyway, we love you. We'll see you on Friday. Kick the thing off. Let's get out of here. Do you have anything you want to add right now, Steve? Quickly before the timer runs out. Steven! Ah!
It's going to be cool, everybody. I know you're scared, but like, what if you just chill, you know?
What?
Just
What?
Be good.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.